Hello everyone, I'm Adelaide and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be ranking all 23 of the Animal Crossing New Horizons cat villagers. This is something a little different than I've done before on my channel, but I had so much fun editing this and I hope you guys enjoy. I also made this rating template myself. I really wanted it to match the aesthetic of the channel, so I hope you guys like the color palette and let's get started. Our first cat villager today is Anka. She is snooty and her Japanese name is Nile. She is based around Egyptian pharaohs and jewelry, and I honestly think that's really cool. I know the design is a little kitschy and cliche, but I honestly think that's why she's super popular. I also love her color combination of the gold and the navy blue. Those colors together are super striking, and I think that's why she stands out among a lot of the villagers. And in her bio it says that she's allergic to apples and loves cherries, which is super cute. And she also has this fun quote that says, "All that glitters is not gold," which is some queen level content, so I am going to put her in the S tier where she belongs. Next we have Bob the lazy cat. His Japanese name is Nikoban, and this guy is the absolute best kidcore villager out there. His purple coloring is so beautiful, and I also love that his two ears are two different shades of purple. I think that's a really nice touch. His design is pretty simple compared to a lot of the villagers, but I think that's why I like him. He looks like your generic sassy cat, which I love. And I also really like the design of his face. The yellow slit eyes and that dopey mouth really make him look like that goofy, lazy villager you're looking for. And I also love his catchphrase. It's not really a phrase, it's just that little lispy thing, that he does. And I also see in his bio it says that it's meant to replicate the sound of a hairball, which is really gross and funny. So I'm going to put him up in the S tier. Up next we have our sweet girl Felicity. She's a peppy cat villager and her Japanese name is Mikachi. She is featured on the KK Slider albums of I Love You and King KK, which super suits her personality because she has the hobby of fashion. I also really love that her name means happiness, which is super cute. I love the initial outfit she has with that tweed dress. I know a lot of people don't like her ginger bowl haircut, but I honestly think that makes her look really cute, and I love that it lines up with the eyelashes from her eyes. And I also love that she has that little prominent blush mark on her cheeks. I think that's really sweet, so I'm going to put her up in the A tier. Here we have Kabuki. He is a cranky cat and his Japanese name is Kabukichi. I have such a soft spot for the cranky villagers, so I like him even more. And I also really love that his design is based on traditional Japanese theater style makeup. I adore the ornate red that goes around his eyes and the accented eyebrows as well. And I really like that he also has pink hands and feet. I think that's a really sweet touch to him, but I'm going to put him in the B tier. Up next we have Kat, the sisterly cat. Her Japanese name is Choi, and she appears on the album cover for Spring Blossoms, which is one of my favorite songs in the game. I really don't have much of an opinion on her because she really looks like your basic brown stripy cat. I do like that she has the little fangs as well as the yellow eyes, and I also like that she has the two different leveled stripes on her legs. That's a really nice touch, but I think I'm going to put her in the C tier because I really don't have any strong feelings towards her. This is Kid Cat, the jock cat. His Japanese name is Ichigo, and he is one of the 5 superhero villagers in Animal Crossing. He was actually one of my starter villagers on Adelaide, so I do have a little bit of a soft spot for him. I think his eyes are super cute, and I do like that he has the helmet on. It's a little gimmicky, which is why I don't like his design too much. All the superhero villagers kind of look the same to me, so I don't find their designs very unique, so I'm going to put him in C tier. Next, we have Kiki, the normal cat. Her Japanese name is Kyabia, which directly translates to caviar, which I think is super funny. A lot of people seem creeped out by her design just because she has those really big yellow eyes, but I honestly think that's what makes her so endearing to me. I think she's really sweet, and she's that typical black cat. Again, her design is pretty simple compared to a lot of the ones I've seen so far, so I think I'm going to put her right at B tier. Here we have Kitty, the snooty cat. Her Japanese name is Shokara, and that means chocolate, which is really cute. I honestly really like the design of her face. I love the dramatic eye makeup as well as the white tips on her ears and her tail. I also really like her design because she feels like a witchy cat, like she would be the familiar of a powerful witch. So I'm going to put her at B tier. This is one of my favorite villagers of all time. This is Lolly the normal cat. Her Japanese name is Lamune, and I have to tell you guys, she was one of my most coveted villagers when I first started playing Animal Crossing back last March. I think her design is really sweet. I love the comma-shaped eyes as well as the stripes around her face and legs. And I also love that she has that little white circle around her mouth. I think it's really endearing. She was one of the sweetest villagers I ever had. She would always run up to me and give me gifts, so I'm going to have to rate her at S tier. Next, we have Mary the peppy cat. Her Japanese name is Sechi, and she is featured on the album cover of KK Soul. I have to be really honest, I really don't like her design. I know she's quite a popular fairy core villager because of her pink ears as well as her sweater, but I honestly think they did her dirty with that one strip of bangs as well as the double chin, and her eyes kind of look a little strange as well. I feel like they're a little too big for her face, so I'm going to put her in D tier. Here we have Mitzi, the normal cat. Her Japanese name is Maru, and I've honestly grown such a fondness for her in the past couple weeks. On my villager hunts, I've seen her maybe a couple times, and I still fall in love with her almost every time I go out. I love that she has the blue on her hands and feet as well as that big circle on her face, and I really like her big bright eyes. I think it really lights up her character. And I also love the outfit she comes with as her default. I think that's a really sweet touch, so I'm going to put her up in A tier. Next is Mo the lazy cat. His Japanese name is Jinbei. I honestly have to agree that his design is pretty unique. His eyes are very large, and I love that he has the rectangular pupils. I'm not such a fan of the teeth. I know some people will find that cute, but I honestly think it deters from how sweet he could have looked. I do like these stripes around his face and legs, but I think I'm going to have to put him in D tier. This is Monique, the snooty cat villager. Her Japanese name is Jane. I honestly am so disappointed because I feel like her design could have been so great. She's based around a 1920s flapper and some famous actresses, but they really did her so dirty with the over-exaggerated eye makeup and eyebrows as well as that mole on her cheek. She could have been so cute, and I feel so bad for her, but I'm still going to put her down in D tier. Next, we have Olivia, the snooty cat villager. Her Japanese name is Olivia, and I honestly really love her design. I have never actually seen her in game. I've only seen pictures of her on her wiki page and other people's islands, but I honestly think her design is super pretty. I love that her ears as well as the stripes on her legs are such a different color than her body. I also think that dramatic eye moment really looks good on her. Compared to Monique, this makeup is so superior, and I'm going to put her up in A tier. This is Punchy, the lazy cat. His Japanese name is Binta, and his name literally translates into a slap in the face, which is super funny. His design is pretty cool. I like that his face is split into two different colors, and I also like that his arms, legs, and tail have that really pretty gradient. I am not personally a fan of the lazy villager type. They're always talking about bugs and food, so I'm going to put him at B tier. Here we have Pearl, the snooty cat villager. I love that her name is a play on words. Her Japanese name is Tama, which is a common name for Japanese house cats, which I think is super sweet. I really like that she has a marbled color scheme. I haven't seen a cat yet that's had that many colors in it, so I think that is really cool about her. I do have to say I am not a fan of her eye design. I think it looks pretty strange. It looks like her eyes are upside down, so I'm going to put her in C tier. This is one of the fan favorite villagers and our favorite office cat, Raymond. He is a smug cat, and his Japanese name is Jaku. I honestly think he has a super sweet design. I know at this point the community thinks he is very overrated, but I honestly love that he has heterochromia, the two different colored eyes, and I also think his design is really cool. I love that he just has that formal look to him with the glasses and his little suit, so I'm going to put him up in S tier where he belongs. Next, we have Rosie the peppy cat. Her Japanese name is Bouquet, and that directly translates to bouquet, which is super sweet because Rosie is a bunch of flowers. I think her design is really sweet. She has that rosy blush right on her cheeks, which is fitting of her name. And I also like her eye design. It's like that typical anime eye, which I really like. So I am going to put this sweet girl up in A tier. This is Rudy the Jack cat. His Japanese name is Cheshu. And I have to admit, I have literally never seen him before this video. And I'm so sad because his design is so adorable. His English name is a play on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which is why he has that bright red nose. And I honestly think he looks so sweet. I love the red coloring, as well as those big eyes and that simple smile, so I'm going to put him up in A tier. Here we have Stinky the Jack cat. His Japanese name is Aksa. He honestly does not need an explanation, F tier. Next we have Tabby the peppy cat. Her Japanese name is Torako, and I honestly feel so bad for her. Tabby cats are so sweet and beautiful, and they just did her so dirty. I know a lot of people like her because she kind of has that ugly, cute vibe, you know, but I honestly have to put her in F tier, even though I feel so guilty. This is Tangy the peppy cat. Her Japanese name is Yakupa, and her design is obviously based around a tangerine or an orange. I do like that she has the leaf on her head, and it is kind of cute that her design is based off of a fruit, but other than that, I have to say she isn't my favorite. I think the speckles on her face remind me of pores, and that really bothers me, so I have to put her in C tier. Our final cat for today is Tom the cranky cat. His Japanese name is Bantamu. His appearance is a reference to the Tom and Jerry cartoons in America, which I think is a nice touch. Other than that, his design is pretty basic. I do like that the white on his face is shaped like a Hershey kiss, and his eyes do stand out because they're that bright yellow color, but I am going to put him in C tier. Here we have the finished tier list of all 23 cat villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I actually had so much fun with this. I got to see villagers I've rarely seen or never seen before, so that was pretty cool. I think I am going to pick out my favorite cat, and that is going to be my sweet girl Lolly. I have such a big attachment to her. She was my very first dreamie when I started playing Animal Crossing, so she is today's queen bee. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below if you'd like to see me rank other villagers, and tell me who your favorite cat villager is. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.